Alrighty, Bowhunters, got another exciting episode for you today. Sitting here with Mr. Pete Griffiths online. Pete, thank you for joining me, sir.
No dramas, mate. Good to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. So, I put a poll out last year, asking what content people wanted to hear about, especially around like animal specific species, based content that I've been doing a fair bit around the deer stuff, and it's been really, really popular and very well received. People have found it very, very insightful. And I just kind of asked, like, what are the other species that people do want to hear about? And one of the ones that got the most votes was camels. And I saw you put up some content about camels, and I asked if you knew much about them, and you've said yes. I've taken Fleep out hunting them. It's something that I've done for a while, and I was like, "Cool, do you want to do a podcast on it?" And so here we are, which I'm pretty excited for. So thank you for joining me for it.
No drama, mate. Looking forward to it.
So, I actually thought it would be a cool way to dive into is found some pretty cool or interesting facts about the camel. So, a lot of people do know this fact in general, but we hold the largest wild population of camels here within Australia, and we have the one humped camels, which I can't remember the name of them. Do you know the breed? What it is? The Humdray or something?
No.
Oh,
No, I don't know. I have been told a few times, but
yeah,
it is
it
also we have the cleanest bloodline too.
that's the other part of it, which is really really cool, right? I don't
Yeah.
have the actual. I'll be able to find the name somewhere, but pretty cool in general. That we also have, like, yeah, as you said, the cleanest bloodline because of what they are within that. It's like the cleanest bloodline within that species across the world, which is awesome. But it's estimated that we have between 1 and 2 million camels roaming across the outback, which is pretty crazy to think about. Originally, they were imported for transportation. So camels were introduced to Australia in the 19th century, starting around the 1840s, for transportation and labor in arid regions, aiding in exploration. Pretty much, they use them just as like a pack horse and whatever else. Plus, they'd walk around on them as well. Um, but then they actually adapted to the outback really, really well. And so camels thrived in Australian desert like conditions due to their natural adaptations, such as the ability to go weeks without water. And they like to consume like the tough, dry vegetation that we have throughout the outback in general and those dry, deserty lands. Hence why they just took to it so well. They are considered an invasive species here in Australia, so they cause what they would say is a significant environmental damage over grazing, trampling vegetation, and competing with other native wildlife resources. But at the same time, I guess that's the whole concept that we we have to fight against with all of our
Yeah.
invasive species, including your deer and everything else, right? And the concepts of how much impact are they actually having, I don't know. But I think, yeah, it's just another one of these facts that has come up. And then culling programs within Australia, they obviously have implemented culling programs like they have for all invasive species, which grows rapidly due to their lack of natural predators here in Australia. So hence why they have so much. But the camel industry has actually boomed quite a lot here in Australia. And I mean, even across the world in general, camel milk has become a really big thing because it is found to be a highly nutritious content. Nutritious source. Especially, I think there's something to the protein. I don't actually have this fact up, but I think there's something to the protein. The essentially the peptides, like the string of proteins that comes from the camel milk, being smaller and finer, which means that you can actually ingest it without it having the effects that some people have with lactose and other forms of of cow's milk, where they get the congestion and stuff like that. That's you don't have that with the camel milk, is my understanding. So hence why people can have it and get like the benefits of milk without having to have the side effects that some people do. And so yeah, that's become a really big boom. And there's a place out, I think, between Brisbane and Toowoomba, so close by where I am, where they do sell it. And I think, I don't know how much it is. I bought camel's milk back in the day for, I swear it was like $39 for a 1 liter bottle. I just wanted to try it, and I'd been told all these awesome things about the benefits of it. And this is back when I was running my health business, so I was like, "Oh heck, I'll check it out. Why not?" But yeah, I wasn't going to buy it by the gallon, that's for sure. Not at that price. um, I've still got a few more. So the export market, Australian camels are exported to countries in the Middle East and North Africa, where they are highly valued for racing, meat, and milk production. The cultural legacy. So there's many the Afghan camelers, or the known as the Gans, which were the people who worked along the camels in the 19th centuries and the 20th centuries, they were like within the Alice Springs region in particular. They've now named the train, which is the Gan, is named after their honor of these people. So I don't know actually much about the Gan train. Do you at all?
I don't know a lot. I've been told a fair bit, but everything you've said so far is bang on. I did look into the camels in WA a lot.
Okay.
And there's a few places there you can get a heap of like information, and you can go to these places like on the South Australian WA border.
Yep.
Crikey, I remember the name of the station. It is, I remember it. Anyway, they started there and they've got all photos still on that station. They've still got
Wow.
carts, they've got all sorts still there in good condition.
Mm.
Well, when I say good condition, for the time.
Good for yeah.
And when they finished with the camels, they let them go.
That's
So there's
cool.
a heap of camels down there is what they let them go. The other place in WA is Dobberderry, I think it is. I think it's called Dobberderry Station or something, North Perth, 3-4 hours North Perth.
Uh-huh.
And that spot there, that was another spot where they sort of kicked off out of there.
Yeah, okay.
Apart from that, find the desert, find a camel.
Here's that purity part that we're talking about. So Australia's feral camels are among the purest. They're called dromedary,
Yeah,
Dromedary. So yeah, dromedary, one-humped camel populations in the world, as they have not interbred with other camel species from other generations, or over the generation, sorry. And then the last one is based around their low water consumption, which they say is low, but really camels can drink up to 200 liters of water in one sitting,
yeah,
which is hectic, right? But within Australia, they'll go weeks without needing water, and they can get so much water from the vegetation that they don't need to actually go to water
yeah,
sources as much. So yeah, there's a few fun facts for you.
yeah. So that dromedary, I think you were saying, or
Yep. Yeah,
that term you
dromedary maybe,
used.
or dromedary. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place north of Perth. I can't remember the name of it. It's about 3 or 4 hours northeast, I think,
Hmm.
more east than north. And that's, yeah, it's called Dromedary, whatever it is there. And that was camels started out there as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
that good genetics, oh, crikey, it would have been 25 years ago, I think it was. My neighbours, they were involved in sending camels back to Dubai.
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
one of the princes come over, and they was only next door to us, and they went up there and they caught heap of camels, and then they flew him because they had to train the camels to sit, like to sit down for transport, because
Yep.
they all sit down the transport. So the guy, my mate that trained them to sit, they went and caught him, he trained them to sit. They flew like a Hercules or something like that. It was a plane just for camels. Can't
No
remember what it
way.
was. The amount of money they spent was incredible.
Be
Then they
ridiculous.
sent a jet. Yeah. Then they had dramas with the camels or something, got the other end because he sat them on the plane. They sent a jet back to grab him and then flew him there,
No
back
way.
there to do stuff with him. Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I got a few mates that do stuff over there with it. Yeah.
How'd they
So
capture
yeah,
them to start with? Like just lasso and get them over, or they yeah.
no, they mustered it. They mustered them.
Okay, yeah. And then do they have to use special fencing for them, or they just sit in the cattle
No,
fencing fine?
no, they put him in a set of trap yards like your cattle yards, and
Yep.
they caught them, just mustered them in with choppers and buggies and whatnot.
Yeah, wow, how
Yeah,
cool.
and then they just picked out what they wanted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the hunting side in particular. I mean, obviously being a bow hunting podcast, the bow hunting side as much as possible. You hear that there's a location that's got camels on it. What's kind of your first moves that you've done when you've gone to a place, Pete, to find the camels from there?
Make sure there's no rain. Make sure there
Mm.
hasn't been rain. There's no big downfalls in the area. That's number one. If there's been rain, don't bother. Go hunt something else. Go chase rabbits or something.
How come?
But
Because
yeah,
they
if there's
just they
been no
just don't need to
rain,
go
cool.
anywhere.
Oh, mate, they walk. Good luck finding them. So when it gets wet out there, you can't drive. It's too boggy.
Ah,
So
yep.
you've got that problem.
Hmm.
And then you've got, they don't need water. So there's nothing really controlling them, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So they'll do something like 2 weeks before you're going to see them come back again.
Wow.
That's if they come back to that water. If they're wandering 2 weeks, you don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, they get moisture out of their food. So they're getting succulents out there. They're going to come back, take even longer.
Mm.
You can tell when camels have drank and when they haven't. So say you get this property you're saying and there's camels there. You call the station owner and say, we've got camels here. Oh, yeah, cool. Where are they? And they tell you where they're seeing them all the time.
Hmm.
So that's another thing. You want to mark their station down and go, right, this is where they're always seeing them, or get them to mark them for you.
Yep.
And say, if you see them, can you send me a picture? And the reason you want a picture is you want to see what the camel looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the camel, it's got a massive fat belly, it's just filled up with water.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to come back there for around 2 weeks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So where's it got? Yeah, because it'll hold it, mate. You know when they've filled up with water.
Yeah, wow.
And then the other one is like there's some camels over here in Queensland we were speaking about before, and not real good on food at the moment. So their humps are real sucked in. There's not much of a hump on them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running the camels without a hump and you're looking for food, don't shoot that camel. He's not going to be any good.
So the
Because
fat source is just low on them.
yeah, so that's like its energy. If it's depleted
Mm-hmm.
that, it's struggling. You know what I mean? It's on crap food. And it's not that it's going to die. It's just got to get the good food again. You know what I mean? It's been offered or it's in drought or it's somewhere where there's not a lot of tucker.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely.
you want to have a nice big hump on it. And that's like full of fat. Like we render that down and use for cooking. And when you render it, you get I cut it in strips and it goes like pork crackle.
Yeah,
Everything
wow.
about a camel's good.
So it's
Yeah,
not
they're
like
incredible.
I always thought it was more like a Brahmin hump that had meat and fat in it, but it's just straight fat, is it?
Straight fat, just all
Yeah,
energy.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no water in there.
The old wives' tale. Something that we didn't talk
Yeah.
about was the age of a camel. They can like in the wild 40 to 50 years is pretty common, and then in
Yeah.
captivity
Yeah.
like 60 years sort of thing. So the thing of saying like, hey, that one's not going to die, like you're just saying like, hey, it might not be as well kept as what it could be, but within the next 30 years it will probably come back to being good. So it's all, yeah, they've obviously got that long
Oh,
lifespan.
might take a week.
Yeah, okay.
Like they come back quick on good tucker if they've gone from nothing and then the rain and good foods come in. Man, they can come back quick. I've seen them do it. But you know when a camel's like going to die, you see it. They look really rough. Like they're
Yeah,
rough.
okay.
Camels just keep going backwards. The hump will go, and you'll watch the hump will go, and you can just see it.
Yeah.
But like you shoot a camel and bone out the back leg like say one side, you don't get that much meat out of a camel. My understanding from a camel is camel's only like 18% meat.
Wow, because
And
they're
then
like
you've
a
got your
thousand
skin, your
thousand
bone, your
kilos,
stuff.
right?
Oh, I'd be surprised if a camel's 1,000 kilos.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't put money on that. Nah,
What would you compare it to?
no.
Like body size, like five, six
Oh,
hundred, so kind of like a cow or something, or
I don't know. If I was going to guess it, I'd guess say maybe 500 kilo, maybe.
yeah, wow. So
Because
they're
they
actually
look
really quite
massive.
lean.
Yeah, dude, they're all leg. Look how much leg they got.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, massive leg, and then that massive neck. So when you bone out a camel, you've got a backstrap. Let's say you got a backstrap about that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got a backstrap. And then you've got a hump, which is fat. You
Uh-huh.
get about, I know, 14, roughly 14 kilo, just roughly off the hump.
Yep.
And then you got the back legs. When you bone out your back legs, and camel's back leg is not real big. It's about that.
Yep.
So then you've got about that much.
Hmm.
So let's say you got 20, 40. There's not a lot of meat on them, hey?
Yeah, wow.
But their meat's
I would
very,
expect
very
it to be
good.
yeah. Yo, I mean, that was the other side of why I'm very excited by camels in general is that I went past my mate's place the other day. Oh, Will Platel, who's been on the podcast before, from Riverley Taxidermy, and he swung me a bit of his camel. It was the tenderloins, and he's like, "Mate, try this out," and it
Oh,
literally tasted like rump. Like it was incredible. It was so good.
mate, who gives tenderloins away? Must be a good mate. Jesus.
Mate, I
I
was
wouldn't
so
give it
surprised.
to
I was so
you.
surprised. I know, right? It was just like, man, try this out. It's so good. You got to try it. And I was, yeah, in awe from word bite one.
Well, that's a good mate. But one thing camels will teach you to do is to learn your stakes.
Mm,
Like camels are absolutely incredible. Like the front half of your backstrap, holy shit. Don't I'll give you the tenderloin of a camel. I want the front half of the backstrap.
yeah,
The other thing I'd want off the camel is the like your Y bones.
hmm,
You get like a steak in there with like a gristle line through it. They're real good. Trying to
yep.
remember the name of it.
Is
The
that
other
from
one
your?
is the rump on camel rump steak.
Where's the Y bone come from?
Yep.
Is that front shoulder?
Shoulder blade.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
I
your
thought
shoulder
so.
blade back here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So the shoulder blade's got like a I can't remember the name of the steak, but anyway, yeah, you've got a steak on that, and then just mince the rest or whatever for sausages.
yeah,
And then you got your back leg, you've got your rump, you got your round, you got your top side, and your silver side. I don't bother with that. I was going sausages with that, but
yeah,
yeah, round, your top side, and your rump. Your rump's like camel rump. I'd take it over your tenderloin. Not a
yeah.
problem. The
Wow.
tenderloin's incredible,
Yeah.
but just a flavour.
Mm.
You only got to put a bit of salt on it, and it's just incredible.
Definitely.
You don't
Yeah,
get a
it's
lot of
just like a
flavour
good
out of the
steak.
tenderloin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if you get, say, a pregnant cow, yeah, it's like getting Wagyu.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
got two
Just
pregnant
because it's
cows, and there was just the backstrap was all marble. It's just
wow.
no shit, it's Wagyu, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's almost 50% fat, just all the marbling through it.
So incredible.
Yeah,
So I mean, getting back.
incredible, the best, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hence once again why I'm excited by them. So getting back to you call the farmer. They say, look, they've been hanging around here. I saw them last week. I send you a photo, and they don't have necessarily a big old belly on them. So you're like, okay, they're probably going to be around that same area. Do they tend to hang out in the one spot on a property, or they just tend to travel? What's their kind of daily habits?
Yeah, cool. So the ball runners on the stations will be the ones that tell you where the camels are, because the
Hmm.
ball runners just do the water runs all the time.
Yep.
So you want to know, say, like you just said, the station, and say, hey, look, I seen them a week ago. Here, this is what they look like, or whatever. Or I just seen them getting a drink. They're at this trough. You'll know they've only come to that trough for a drink. They
Yep.
haven't come there to hang out. But they'll say, we see them sitting here, or doing this, or doing that. And then from there, you'll go, righto, you'll talk to them, and they might have, if they're mustering at the time, they'll have a chopper,
Hmm.
something like that. So these are all things you can, if they've got them, ask them for it. Just have a look while they're up.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll go to that spot where they're seeing them. Say, okay, seen them a week ago, and they were getting a drink. So, okay, cool. So we've got roughly 2 weeks. So I'd say if it was a week now, I'd probably want to go within about, say, 3 days and give myself that week over that 2 week limit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
so 2 weeks from when he's seen them. Okay, I can give myself 2 weeks. I'll cover that weekend by 3 or 4 days either side,
Yep.
and then I'd go do that ball run. And a lot of the time they'll let you take their vehicle, saving you fuel and all the rest of it. It all depends on your station owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll get that ball run and get that guy to mark it out for you, and you go with them. You know what I mean? You'll go do that ball run.
Hmm.
And when you're driving the camel, so I do a lot of tracking with your camels. What you want to learn to do, and you will learn to do it if you're doing like the ABA rules, where it's all fair game, fair chase,
Hmm.
which you can't spot them from moving vehicle and all that sort of thing. If you do, we don't shoot them. We got to leave them for 3 days or something, go back into the hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
But with a camel, you really learn about shit. That is the one thing camels taught me the most,
Meaning
is
about
about,
their dung.
yes,
Yep.
they'll teach you about aging shit. That's probably the coolest thing about camels. They teach you how to age crap if you're tracking. So they'll leave a pad, like a smooth pad. You'll drive along, you'll see these white pads.
Mm.
That's from them walking. They leave a
Yep.
big smooth patch. And
Yeah.
then you
Okay.
look at the different colors of their shit. So when they shit within a couple of hours, it's green. So
Wow.
you'll go through, and learn all the different stages of their crap.
Yeah.
And I done that when I done the desert. I done like a barefoot thing for, I don't know, 3 4 weeks, whatever, just getting on foot, barefoot in the desert. The stupidest thing ever. But anyway, done that. But I really had to learn how to find them and not follow tracks, because they look pretty fresh. You know what I mean? There's that big smooth pads,
Mm.
and it's hard to find a sharp edge on them. That sort of thing. It's just a smooth pad.
Yeah.
So you'll follow it so long, and you'll smell their crap or find their crap or their piss, whatever. And you, okay, cool. All right, how long have I got? And you'll walk down and go, nah, that's like 4 hours, mate. That thing's walking for 4 hours, not a chance. Not like a deer that's going to walk over here and sit under a tree.
Yeah.
These things just stroll along and eat, and just keep strolling along and eating. You know what I mean?
Just grazes.
So that's just grazing, man. And they're grazing up high. That's why they're quite clean as well. They
Yep.
don't feed off the ground. They're not, what do they call it, ruminant or something, is it? Or there's
Yeah.
a name
Ruminant.
for something where
I
they're not
think
feeding off the ground. They feed.
isn't a ruminant just they have multiple stomachs? I'm
Oh
not
yeah, I
sure.
don't know. I know there's a term for when they eat off the ground to when they eat up off the trees or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see what I
Anyway,
can find.
so that's why they're so. That's why camels are so clean.
Yeah.
Or another reason why they're so clean. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so say you talk to them, they've seen them a week ago, whatever. As long as there's no rain on the forecast and there's been no big rains,
Yep.
because they'll bugger off. When you get rain, they can walk further,
Mm.
because they have to come back so far for your water. You know what I mean? They'll get water out there now, so they'll go even further.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So to say, if sees a week ago, yep, cool. How often you seeing them? I'm seeing them how often, and good chance is that these guys on the station been there for a long time, so they generally know how long they hang around for
Yep.
and what they're doing in the area. And they'll say, "Oh, we see them here, then we see them over here," and usually a week later we see them over here, or they generally have a good idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to get the information from them. It's
From
going to
people who've
save you a
seen
lot
it.
of time.
But there's no like, for
Yeah.
instance, Yeah, so you don't find okay, they're going to sit underneath a shady tree or something like that in the middle of the heat or anything like that. Like they're just kind of grazing and moving throughout the day. Like, is there anything that you look for where they sleep or anything like that, like bedding areas or anything, or not really? It's kind of just a you got to pick them up where they're moving.
Yeah, I have not figured it out, man. They're like a train. They just wander and then they'll sit down, never break,
Mm,
but they'll just wander and break. And generally, where they sit down, camels don't like spinifex. They've got soft feet. That's
yeah,
one thing I learned. So they'll try and walk around spinifex. So if you see like tracks going in there, spinifex, he doesn't want to go there. He'll walk the road. He doesn't want to go on the spinifex because their feet are soft.
yeah,
So they don't like walking in spinny. They don't like walking like where they're going to get, stabbed in the feet.
yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
they are like that. They'll sort of walk around all that sort of stuff.
I guess if
That's something else.
like originally they were made to walk on sand, maybe that's why, right? Like as a soft pad versus it being something that can deal with spiky.
Yeah, well, unlike your cows, you get your hard hoof. The
Yeah,
camel, man, it's just a big soft pad. So yeah, and when they lay down, obviously they don't want to lay down near this spinny and whatnot. So they'll always
mm,
lay down. A lot of the time you find they'll lay down on roads.
yeah,
They'll come
okay,
out, sleep on the road.
yeah.
So you'll see them they bed up on tracks a lot.
Yeah, I
So
one of my mates runs a haulage company and he said the amount of damage that Camels does to his like trucks and stuff through because they'll drive. They used to do the run from Darwin, I think, all the way down to Adelaide. And he's like, man, I'd get a call almost once a month just taking out camels, driving down the highway, like mowing over
yeah,
camels. Yeah, it's
the problem
horrible.
is the bastards are about eye height in a truck too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, car wouldn't be too bad. You'd go right under it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, he said it does a lot of damage to the trucks, that's for sure.
yeah.
Poor buggers.
Yeah, I think it's because they're high.
Yeah,
But yeah, with bow hunting, man, if we're going back in your bow hunting,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, camels, they're incredible to hunt. They're quite hard to get close to. They've got really, really good eyes.
Hmm.
Like if you're not driving up with a vehicle and then getting out of a vehicle and then shooting one, like if you've got a stalk and everything on foot, they pick up movement incredibly bloody well.
Yeah.
So I think I was talking to you before. I don't know if you wanted me to mention that, if
Go
you're
for it.
trying
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
them closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the desert you'll find in country is their camels really freaking tall. So
Hmm.
you don't get a lot of stuff to hide behind a lot of the time. So what works really well is you'll get in so far and you just think, look, I can't get from this next spot without being seen, or it's too much of a risk. If they catch you moving like a person, 9 times out of 10, they'll treat you like a person and they'll run.
Yeah.
The further you go in the desert, the quieter they are. As long as people haven't been blazing at them with guns, they're generally pretty quiet. But what I find works really well, and it works all the time, is get into, say, your 100 meters or whatever it is. You don't have to get too close, just enough for them to make sure they think they can identify you. So 100 meters is good. The 200 meters is fine. Just saves you a lot less crawling if you get to say 100. So say you get to 100, you want to shoot at 30, that's cool. And then you just get yourself out in the open and you'll see what the camel are doing. Get out in the open and get them to see you. And as soon as they see you, if you stand up, sit down, and then just start crawling, like you just like crawl around in a circle and forward like that, and just slowly make your way to them. What will happen if there's a big bull there, the biggest bull there, he will come out to you. I guarantee you, he will come to you.
Just so curious
So
of
once
what's
he
going
starts
on.
coming to you, he'll just come out of that. And he'll just you won't give a shit for nothing, and
Yeah.
you just walk out like the boss. He'll come right up to you and look at you, as if like. Hmm. They're real slow like that, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and then he'll turn. He'll just be so chilled, but he'll just keep coming to you and just crawl around a bit. And just when you crawl, because the ground's bloody hot, crawl out, and then you just crawl to shade, and then sit there, and you're fine. Once they see you like doing this, and they're not running instantly, because it's only if they're a bunch of cows I've had them do it. But
Mhm.
I've only had one mob do it, and it's because they've been shot at. The rest will all come to us, and yeah, just crawl around and keep doing that. Go to the shade, and once they're sold on you and they start coming to you, then you're sweet. You're pretty well set. They're
They'll
like
just come
emus.
straight to you.
Once
Yeah.
you've sold this, mate, they're sold. They'll come up to you, and then you just pick which one you want to get, and they'll come into 20 meters. I've had them literally stand over top of me, stupid as crap ever, but I've had them stand right over top of us.
Yeah. Wow.
So I wouldn't recommend letting them come that close. Once they get to, like, say you're happy at 30,
Hmm.
like if you're happy at 30 or 40, whatever you're happy with, just stand up or make sure you're comfortable. Don't stand there and draw just because you got so much time.
Yeah.
And just all like every animal, smooth movements, and yeah, man, they'll out it for a bit. After a bite, he'll turn around for you, and he'll, you know what I mean, if you
Give you
kick some
broadside
dust or whatever,
shot.
he'll turn, and then he'll, yeah, you'll see you'll mess with them a bit.
Yeah.
Just sit down, stand up, because once you're sold, they think you're a dog or kangaroo, whatever they think you are by crawling around. They just want to figure you out. They don't like dogs.
Mm.
It's like
Do,
a
do they
even
do
same
like
thing.
dogs predators to them or anything? Like, do dogs try to round them up and bite them and stuff, or not really because they're too big?
Dog angle. Nah, camel would smash a dog.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, camels are weapons, man. Yeah, nah, they wouldn't
What
bother. I
what do
wouldn't
they
reckon.
do to attack one? Like a trampling, or they smack them with their head or something, or
Yeah, kick. Yeah, they
kick?
kick
Yeah.
sideways. The old camel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen their? Have you seen their canines,
No.
bro? They got like a freaking. I got big balls with canines like that, man. Just like pig tusks sticking out like that. You got like a
Really?
tusk on them. Yeah, it's like
Oh.
when they go bang and whack. You know the big balls they whack each other.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
look at the big teeth they got. They got massive big
Oh
like
yeah. Now
canine
that you
things
say
coming out.
it. All right.
Look at that.
Let's bring this onto the screen so everyone can see this.
Yeah, check out the size of them.
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. For instance, this one here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, mate. They're
Wow.
massive. Hey,
You
yeah.
think about that.
Imagine
So
that getting
in the
hold of
picture, this guy, his thumb is
you.
smaller than the size of that canine. That's hectic.
Yeah, that grab hold of you good, hey?
And do they bite? Is that something that they do to it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Shit, yeah, they bite.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
I've
They're
been, I saw an old camel from an old camel trainer that used to do the trains, and he said they'd never, ever, an old Aboriginal fellow, he said they'd never, ever draw blood on a camel. And if you did, that camel will never, ever forget. So when they had to cut a camel or do something to it, they always got a stranger person come in and do it. It was never the people that run the trains.
yeah,
Because the
wow.
camel wouldn't forget. And at some point, it'd be nice, and then all of a sudden, he'd eat you.
Have a crack. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it'd kill you. Yeah, they reckon they kill you. No worries. Yeah,
They're such a quirky animal. They actually so I think they fit into the same subspecies as like your llamas and stuff like that. Like that's kind of the closest breed to them, right? But they're all so small in comparison to a camel.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bruce, not too much different.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
in size wise though, I mean,
yeah, yeah. Stuff here. Camel's huge, man. Like,
yeah.
absolutely massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So
How about the rut? Have you hunted them much during their rut as such?
yeah, yeah, it's wicked.
So
Yeah, it's really
what's
cool. But
kind of the major
I
differences that you do when you're hunting outside the rut versus in the rut? No
be more
difference.
careful.
Yeah, okay.
Be
Just because they're
careful.
way more
Yeah.
territorial.
Oh shit, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they freaking stink. Yeah, I'd recommend don't shoot them in the rut.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. For eating, just go, don't do it, but up to whoever wants to do it.
Hmm.
It is cool to watch. Like they proper punch on.
Yeah.
But when you find them, you've got to find them. And when you find them, it's bulls fighting.
Yeah.
So, which is, I suppose it's cool to watch. I wouldn't really know, like, sort of like the hunting them coming to us, whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100% you can do it, man. They rut hard when they go hard, but
I
you've got to get, there's got to be enough in the group together, if that makes sense.
what do you mean? Enough males or enough females or
Yeah, enough. No, you got to find enough males. You got to find the males for them to be fighting.
oh gotcha.
Because if
Yeah,
there's not enough
okay.
males there, like a big bull camel, he's got to have some kind of competition.
Yeah.
If they're not competition, you're not going to get one rutting. So find them rutting, you got to find decent numbers, you know.
And do you hear them actually calling much during the rut or not really?
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is an awesome sound. I just found this out before we started talking. So I'm going to
Yeah,
play this
you
for
don't,
everyone.
yeah, you
Oh,
don't
actually,
forget this noise.
just let me share the sound real quick because this is classic. It made me giggle. All right, here we go.
Do you get it?
So
Yeah, see
that's
that?
yeah,
Yeah, they
his
set them to hang
gula.
out of their mouth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a video. I got a video of two. That bull that I was saying I was standing underneath.
Hmm.
That that thing was rutting when I shot him, and
Yeah,
that the
wow.
only reason it saved me there is he was running. So there was a couple of cows out in front of us, and he just ran up, and I was under like hiding under this bush, and
Yeah.
I literally had to the 95 is just so hard to pull. Like when you land down, I've got to be sitting up or kneeling up.
Yep.
Anyway, I managed to get it back, and I just laid back on the ground. I just fell back. I literally shot like that.
Jesus
And the other
Christ.
fellow that was with us, the fellow that was with us was way back on 150 odd 200 meters, and he was watching with the binos. And yeah, ended up running back, getting the bug coming out. He goes, "Oh, you missed it." I said, "No, I shot it." He goes, "No, you missed it. I seen your arrow go right up in the air." I said, "No, I went through him." So I can't get him. So I said, "No, look, he's over there dead." I was like, "Oh, so far, right? I thought you missed because the arrows went."
Yeah, just shot through.
Yeah,
Fire out.
yeah, literally, the arrow would have been just about touching the bow. I reckon. But I was laying on the ground. So yeah, so it would have been. I probably had a gap about that much from the bow.
That's intense. Yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid.
What?
Yep,
So
that
he
was
came
stupid.
out and he did that little Gula throw out.
He was just standing over there, he's going blah, 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 with this big thing's hanging out of his mouth, going blah, 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 right over the top of his arrow. Oh, yeah, no, cool noise. Like you don't forget the noise, but
No.
just that situation I had, I don't. Yeah, you sort of don't forget it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't really want to do it again, though.
yeah, if you've never seen it, essentially what they do is they chuck out a little, it's like a throat pouch, which looks like it looks like a heart, looks like a deer heart in a sense. And they throw this thing out, and that's what makes the blah 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 blah, like the little bubbling sound,
Mm.
and then they bring it back into their mouth. It's really quite a weird concept,
Yeah.
but yeah, cool as well.
Yeah, it's insane. This one was puffed right up, so it looked like it was about that big.
Yep.
There's a bloody big ball. It's like blah, 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 blah. Just remember, it's just all crap, just dribbling off it. It's like, fuck,
Yeah.
this isn't good. But it was right for the girls. So there's another ball. There's another ball on the girls.
Yep.
He was only about, I think, 40, 50 meters away or something. So there was another ball over there and almost gargling away here. It's like, oh no. Anyway, and I was going for that ball, and this ball, I didn't even see where he come from. And they're a big bloody animal. So
Yeah.
anyway, he came walking up behind us. Oh shit! So I just stayed under this bush and yeah, shot him. And then he just trod over and died. And the other fella stayed with the cows because they were going to punch on.
Hmm.
And when old mate come to get us, this ball was still over there with the cows. So I ended up getting him as well. Got them both.
Yeah. Wow.
But he wouldn't move because he's down with his girls, and he'd see me crawling around.
Yeah.
So he was already sold with that. Even though old mate pulled up right next to him with the buggy, he was still sold on me for some reason. Don't know why.
Got you.
But even though the buggy pulled up here and stopped, so give a second, I want to get this ball still, which you'd never do that with anything else. But
Yeah.
he was just so amped up the fight and all the rest of it. And anyway, yeah, something different.
I wonder if that had something to do with the other ball coming in so close to where you were as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
This thing, I reckon if I stood up underneath him, I reckon my head would have come maybe only about halfway up his belly.
Far
You know what I
out.
mean? I'm not real tall, but mate, they're just huge, hey.
You're also not a
They're
midget though,
absolutely
right?
huge.
So
Yeah, no, I'm not a midget. Not that far
so,
gone, eh?
no, yeah. So they are actually a big critter.
Yeah, I like that. Was that a question or a statement?
Yeah.
Shit.
No, that's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I've ridden on a camel before and stuff, like back in school days and stuff. And you remember seeing how big they are, but yeah, to see one in the wild, I'm sure that'd be a pretty bizarre experience.
Yeah, bloody hell. Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. You look at them, they're so nice, hey. It's a real
Mm,
different experience. 100%
hmm.
different experience hunting. If you do the crawl around thing, I find I don't mind it so much, but they're different. They're different to hunt everything else. Just I know what it is. You get a different feeling about them.
Yeah,
Just they're just different. They're so relaxed.
yeah.
But when I was saying to you before, when you crawl up on the camels and they treat you like a dog, and the big ball will come out like stallions. If you do the same thing, it works for stallions as well.
Hmm.
With the horses,
Yeah.
the stallion will come out and charge you and have a go at you. The
Yeah, wow.
worst attack I've had so far, crocodiles get them all the time. That's fine, but the worst attack I've had has been a stallion. And I stabbed that thing with the arrows, mate. I was stabbing this thing as this thing's trying to get us because it's a hunk going nuts, rearing
Biting
up.
at
I'm
you.
stabbing this thing like, oh man, it didn't kill it. I was stoked. I didn't want to kill it, but I was like, far out. Haven't shit myself that bad to anything.
What
But
actually
that
happened?
was
You were just crawling around like a dog, and this thing just came to attack
going
you.
around. Yeah, we're going for these camels. The stallions come in, man, just going nuts. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh
That was hectic.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying to you before, like it works on camels and donkeys. It also works on horses.
Yeah.
But you just got to watch. It's the males will come in to protect the females. So it's good to get them to come close. Just make sure you try and stop them. You know, get yourself a safe spot. Don't go
Hmm.
right out in the open with no safe spot because a donkey, if he comes in with a pack of jacks, man, if we get a bad jack, You can shoot that donkey all day long, man. They are tough.
They just keep
I've
going.
seen guys, I've seen the pros hit them with a magazine out of 308 semis, and these things just run, mate. Just unbelievable. They're only tiny. Donkeys tiny but tough, like
And
incredibly tough.
they're very they're pretty brutal and like what they do to attack people, right? Like they'll bite you,
Oh,
they'll trample you, they'll do everything, kick you. Um,
everything
but
they can do. Yeah.
yeah, farmers put them with their cattle's, right, to just protect them from dogs and stuff like that because they're quite territorial.
They hate dogs. Yeah, that's why they come like that. Stallions will do the same, your wild stallions.
Yeah,
But
okay.
donkeys are number one. Donkeys hate dogs. They are incredible protection for livestock.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, mate. Yep. And beautiful, mate. You say you catch this is the worst thing. Donkeys are great eating. Like a young donkey's beautiful to
I've
eat.
heard that before. Yeah.
But you catch a baby donkey and say put it in the car with you. By the end of the day, that thing's like a dog. Come on. It's just ridiculous, mate. They friend same with baby camel.
Yeah.
Baby camel's friendly up. I got a video. How's this? Here you go. I done a video. I shot that camel that I shot like real close. We're
Hmm.
out there and I had the work ute out there and just the guys work ute. And I think ACDC or something was playing on the radio. I got a video of it.
Yeah.
And just playing it and I'm cutting this out because the guy with us was playing his music, you know. So I'm usually nice and quiet, and cut this camel up, whatever. And there's what? Oh, keep going. Freaking this little baby camel, man. His back would have been about there. It's on video.
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
thing comes up to my car. ACDC, I think it's ACDC screen. Got a video. Comes up to the car behind us, and the thing's fighting to get in my car. I'm not even joking. I got a video of this thing getting in my freaking car or the work car.
Yeah.
Serious. Getting in
That's
it. Like, what
crazy.
the hell? So it must only have been a couple of days old or whatever, not long walking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then this and can come up with the car for some reason, getting in the car.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah, so they make that noise. But if you do go out in the desert, the further you go in the desert, you'll find horses,
Yep.
and then you'll find camels, then you'll find donkeys. That seems to be when you're going in and out of your desert. That seems to be
Donkeys
how
are
they work.
further in than the camels.
No, horses seem to be everywhere, like right in deep.
Yep.
And then I found the camels and I found the donkeys. That's the sort of run I found on them.
Yeah.
But in
Okay.
different times of year, you'll find camels here all the way through. It's
Yep.
just different time of year. But the donkeys seem to have their line, and the horses will go right out.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
things do miles, do the miles, yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
interesting.
yeah, just be if they're going to do that crawl around like dog, just be freaking careful with donkeys. Those jack donkeys will just they're nuts. So yeah, don't let them get too close and get ready. Like if you're happy at 30 or 20, just stop there. Like just let them stop there and start talking to them. Stand up, start talking. They won't run off. They'll be sold that you are a dog,
Yeah.
and they'll literally just stand and walk around and check you out. And
Isn't it?
camel at
Is
some point will turn.
So I was gonna say, isn't it funny that like the Americans look over at Australia and they're like, oh, everything can kill you, and here we are, people
Mm.
who spend a lot of time out in the bush, and we're talking about donkeys being the scary thing.
Donkeys, yeah, donkeys are bad, man. Donkeys, you ask
Yeah.
Phil. Yeah, a lot of ringers have been smashed off motorbikes by donkeys just coming out of the bush.
Far
Yeah.
out.
Cool
Uh,
animals, awesome cool animals, can be friendly as, but can be bad too.
yeah,
Yeah. Go see a bull's going to smash you with his horns. A donkey's going to bite chunks out of you, stomp you into the ground. Like,
that's
yeah,
rough. Yeah,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So, yeah,
Uh,
so when you call that station, or that say the station says he's got these camels, there's a week out. Yeah, if you check out what your rain's doing, what all the water's doing,
mhm.
and just ask them where they're seeing them mostly and how often they're seeing them. Because they might say, hey, look, we don't see them very often. We haven't seen them for a couple of years or a couple of months or something like that. And
Mm.
usually you see them and you don't see them again. And if they're going to go that far, get them to chat to their neighbours and ask their neighbour, do you mind if I talk to your neighbour?
Yeah,
So, yeah, no, you can talk to the neighbour. That'd be great. So then when you talk to the neighbour, use their name, but make sure they're happy with it. Say, Barry or whatever. Barry, do you mind if I tell Joe next door that I'm over on your place as well? Yep, no worries. All right, cool. Then call him and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. So Barry said, give you a call, Joe. And just we were looking at coming up in a couple of weeks to get a couple of camels with the bow, if that's no problem.
mhm.
And then I say, how often you see them? We're going to be over on Barry's place, but where do you see them on your place as well? If we can't find them here, would you mind if we come over and have a look? And a lot of the time they're happy as for you to go and have a look, because a lot of the camels, I reckon, smash the water tanks. I
Yeah,
haven't seen them
okay.
do it, but I've heard of them doing it. They smash the plastic water tanks.
Yeah,
So yeah, They
Yeah,
just
wow.
apparently they kick them till they crack.
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
was just looking over some of the notes I'd kind of pre-written. So, I mean, some of the things that maybe we hadn't pointed out is that they tend to rut during the cooler months. And so you're saying ideally hunting outside of that is better just regarding the eating of them or the meat.
I think your cooler time might be the dry time in the desert. It gets freezing cold out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
like stupid cold out in the desert, and it's a cold that you won't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it says a lot of the Australian camels will go kind of on the back end of August through to October.
Okay,
Have you
cool. Yeah,
have
so
you seen that?
you get a lot of wet now. So you get a lot
Yeah,
of
okay.
reindeer come through now.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've hunted August in Queensland,
Yep.
and a lot of October I'm doing in WA.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
And gestational period of the mum is 13 months, so 390 days roughly. And usually just single births. It's pretty rare that they'll have a double, like a twin birth. And then the parental care, like the young will stay with them for 18 months before they kind of break away and do their own thing. And they're milk bound for 6 months at least.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, and
interesting.
I think the camel milk you're talking about before, I think it's going for about $20 a litre in Perth at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's
Pretty
more
good,
of a
20 bucks
regular
a litre.
price now. I'm talking
Yeah,
10 years ago when I went looking for the camel milk when I found some.
that's that's cool. You were doing it though. Good man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Um, and then I guess one last thing to add is that the females reach sexual maturity around 3 to 4 years of age, and males between 5 and 6 years of age. But they often wait longer to establish dominance and gain access to mates.
Yeah, and you'll see that when you go out. You'll see like males think, oh, he looks all right, but he won't run up.
Mm.
What's going on here? But they'll just back off together.
Yeah.
So you do see what you're saying there. If you pay attention to them, look at them, you'll see that. You'll see all of that with them. Camels are really obvious, but
Yeah. Okay.
they're,
Tell me,
they're cool animals, just so different.
Tell me about like you're saying big bull. Is it kind of purely gauged by the size of the animal, or is there more to it than that?
It depends on what you're shooting for. If you're like, I eat the bulls as well. I haven't had a bad one yet.
Yeah.
I would say a pregnant cow is the best to eat.
Hmm.
Just like Wagyu.
Yeah.
Saying that, I'm not complaining. I would not knock back a bull camel. I've had no dramas with them. The gamey flavour, I love them.
Yeah.
So a big bull is a mature bull.
Yeah.
And when they measure a big bull, you generally measure its head like a fox. If you're going for trophy size,
Yeah.
I'll shoot trophies and eat them. I don't have a problem if I'm shooting, I'm going to eat it. So, crikey, what's the measurements on a big bull now? But they measure it like a fox anyway. They measure length of the head.
Yeah.
They measure, so you got length, then you got the width. So length, width, and then that's all actually. That's all they measure on a camel. So it's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
length of the skull and width of the skull.
Yeah. Wow. And do you know like larger sizes within Australia or anything like that, like the biggest
Oh,
stakings?
I think total was about 31 or 32 inches. Like that's the length plus the width.
Yep.
I think the record's around 31, 32 inches.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty sure that's the record in them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, obviously, and this is something that Brett Meldrum had said to me too. He said that like they were hunting camels that were on the move, so you just had to get in front of the camel and try to wait to ambush it. Essentially, he said it was really tough, like a long days, a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Um, the stations and stuff you're on, they're pretty wide open country, not a lot of fences, or there is fences and they just go straight over them, or what's the deal there?
Camel. Camel don't care for fences.
Yeah, okay, just walk
Oh,
over
we,
top of it or
oh,
knock them down, or
we, we shot a camel years ago now. We'd go shoot this camel and had about close to a kilometre of fence it was dragging. Just fucking caught in this fence in Australia. But no, camels don't care for fences, bugger all. They'll go over them, go through them, don't care.
yeah, wow,
But when you say Brett was saying when the camels are walking, they got to get in front.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a game I started playing at the start of like chasing camels,
yeah,
and it is the worst you've made. That's how I got lost in the desert. Like 10Ks barefoot. I end up doing 10Ks, get in front of this thing, and then it's like, fuck, where's
where am
what
I? Yeah.
shit? Where am I? I remember that tree. What tree? Oh man, that sucked. But yeah, so to stop that, because that is camels, man. They just wander. So
Yeah.
you want to get up to, like I was saying, get into that area and get them to see you
Mm.
and do the dog thing, and you won't
Yeah.
have to chase them. They'll come.
Yeah.
They'll
Okay.
stop for you. They'll come to you, and it saves you. dude, and you can't just like camels just walking. You can't just go, I'll just come around like this. Man, they can see so freaking good. You go running out here, a couple hundred meters, they're going to catch you.
They're getting
You've
you.
got
Yeah.
to you've got to go. Like you're better off getting a car and driving about 3Ks up. You know what I mean? And then start coming in. Don't walk back too fast because they'll walk right past you.
Yeah.
So you've got to like, okay, there they are there. Looks like they're going to go through. What are they chewing on? Okay, they're chewing on those kind of looking trees. Okay, I see a line of them. It looks like they're going to go through there. Okay, I want to be over there.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then because they got good eyes, if you move around in front of them, they'll catch you moving.
Yeah.
They're incredible with movement.
That was actually something that I found about their eyesight, and I know you mentioned it before, and I didn't tap into it because I couldn't find it. But essentially, they've got really good eyesight at all parts of the day because they can adapt to the light, and so they're born or they've been raised in like your deserts and whatever else where it's incredibly bright. But then they're also used to walk through the nights and through like low light situations. So they've got really great visibility like throughout the day. Then also the visual zone, like where their head is actually, where their eyes are actually
Yeah,
located on their head, they've got such good peripheral vision as well.
yeah. So you think you're walking behind a camel and he can't see you, and he's doing this like a horse,
Yeah. Okay.
like that. There, he can see behind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't pick up that for ages. And I'm like, following this camel. I'm going to get this bastard. Yeah, he kept doing this thing, and he's just wandering. Mate, that thing just dragged me freaking so far out, bro. They see you from about there. They can see. They
Yeah.
can see backwards from about there. And it's only when he held his head there that little bit longer, I thought, wait up, I reckon this thing's seeing me. So I stopped and got down and crawled. I thought, I'm going to go straight out in the open and see what happens. And as soon as I crawled out, he went, well, what's going on here?
Yeah. Wow.
And then I thought, nah. So I just kept crawling around. I thought, let's see what this thing does. Stuff it. He's gone anyway. Then he started walking back. And then he stopped. The others looked at him. And after a bit, they come over. And then they all come over. And then the big fella come over. And, oh, well, that was good. 20
Is
meters.
is that how you discovered the crawling thing, or is it something you'd
Yeah.
been told of before?
No, no. That's how I discovered it. I was just following for ages. Then thought, stuff this. Just do this, see what happens. And yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah. And then doing it over time, then I've made mistakes and done it in front of horses. And I've used it on donkeys. And yeah, horses, donkeys, and camels will all come to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you actually been hunting for? I didn't dive into that at all.
I don't know. Since we were kids, so mate, I used to take my bow to school. How's that?
Yeah. Cool.
Try and get that one past, mate. I used to take my bow to school,
Yeah.
even high school. One of the teachers let me put it in their office,
Yeah.
and then like I didn't like English and social studies. I couldn't be bothered.
Uh-huh.
And Bible class, you could sleep. There's a private school, you could sleep in that. Anyway, so I'd go. Oh look, I remember getting told off by this English teacher. She goes, "Oh, wipe the smile off your face." So yeah, stuff around. She's like outside, grab me bag, and I'm sitting there going, "Ah, bugger this, go grab me bow." So I go grab me bow, and I went down to the veggie patch and orchard at the school there.
Yeah.
I know used to shoot ducks and rabbits there. I shoot ducks off the veggie patch for the guys who had the veggie garden, the class that had that. And then I was shooting rabbits and diving in the marron catching, in the dam catching marron. This is all at like school, high school, primary school. I was shooting all sorts of stuff, just foxes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I ran into one of the guys that was in my class. He's pretty high up in the special forces, and he recognised it. Mate, I used to go to school with you. I used to sit there in the room and watch you walk out across the car park with your bow, go shooting while we had to sit in the classroom. So yeah, no, I don't know. I've just always been hunting. If I didn't have that was when compound bow only started about. Oh no, I had a compound bow in primary school, but not real flash. But we'd make bows out of bamboo a lot of the time.
Yep.
Bows now is out of bamboo. And always used to, even as a kid, man, I shoot little doves and cook them up. Wouldn't flash, but yeah,
Dove poppers.
shoot stuff. So I spoke to my old man. I asked him why did you teach us to hunt? And he goes, because they went through a depression with bugger all food and whatnot. I remember when
Yep.
we grew up as kids, we were eating boiled wheat and stuff. And his thing was, I want to make sure you guys can all survive. So if you need to hunt, you're all good. You know what I mean? So he taught us how to use, like, we had slingshots, bows and arrows, freaking whatever, guns, you name it, all sorts of stuff. He got us going with fish traps, just you name it, just to get food. You know what I mean? And then we
Definitely.
went out with so I grew up with Aboriginal people from a little kid. Man, I got videos as a little kid out with them getting bush tucker, and so I grew up with them.
It's awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
I
really
think
like it's a lost generational skill, right? And in the sense of, I mean, we saw it during COVID where the meat stores literally ran out. Like you go to
yeah,
Woolies and there wasn't anything on the shelves. And then now we're seeing it freaking with eggs again, like the egg shortages that are happening because they're claiming all the bird flu BS that's happening. Um, and so it's pretty ridiculous to see, but at the same time, knowing that you've got that skill to have a freezer full at all times is definitely a powerful thing.
yeah, stuff here. And I think as well, like eggs is cool. Eggs are a really good one. Know where to find your eggs, like what time of the year and what animals one are there out there. So we went out and got emu eggs.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, you'd never even think to get emu eggs, would you?
Big old blue
Emu eggs.
suckers.
Yeah, they're bloody brilliant. Hey,
Yeah.
we were pinching duck eggs. When I say pinching them, like local duck ponds or
Yeah,
local
yeah.
council ponds.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. As kids, I probably shouldn't say this, but as kids, man, we're catching those ducks as kids, like catching them and selling them to the Italians and the Chinese restaurants. No joke. We used to sell. I suppose we're too young to get in trouble. We'd sell ducks and cats and all
That's
sorts. Yeah.
funny. Someone else on the podcast has told me once that they used to shoot or they'd catch stingrays and then they'd chop them open and cut them into scallop sizes and sell them to the Asians
Yep.
as scallops as well.
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
I
mean,
eat them.
something I wanted to ask you about was the bow fishing for the stingray and stuff, and tell us a bit more about that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've never sold them as scallops. I eat them. They're not bad eating. Hey.
Yeah.
I eat the little ones. I don't eat the real big fellas. I
Hmm.
don't really shoot the big fellas, but yeah, no, stingrays. I don't mind them. Me.
What's the
Um,
trick? Obviously, some people say they're just rubber and you can't eat them, but you guys have figured out the system, right?
oh, there's so many different ways you can cook them. I've had them with the Aboriginal people up in Darwin, man, and they cooked them skin on, just threw the whole thing on the fire, and it was great. Certain time of the year when their liver's brown, and
Mm.
then they pull that liver out, and then they mix that in. You shred all the meat and mix it all up like a
Yep.
fish cake sort of thing, and then you blend all the liver in with it. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you
Okay.
wouldn't knock it back. I mean, there's better things to eat, but that wasn't too bad. It's not like a coral trout,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still good eating. Yeah, but I just fill them out. Hey, like the ones I'm doing here. I'm back in the next week. I'll go get some cowtails. That's the one that put me in hospital a while ago. One of those cowtails. The little thing had two spikes on it, but it hit me twice. It's so
Oh,
stupid. I was just bow fishing, had the missus shoot it. She was bow fishing. I was just showing her. I said, whatever you do, don't do this. Because if you do this, they're so quick, they'll pull out and do this. So don't do, freaking nailed me, hey. No shit. 12 days on a bloody on drip at the hospital every day. I had to go back into
oh,
the hospital,
wow.
sit on drip and have my hand in ice the whole time. Yeah,
What
that was
was the pain
crazy.
level like? What do you reckon out of
Fuck.
10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of it. 10.
The
Oh,
worst, worst you've ever
it's not
felt,
like
like of
not like
anything?
you. It's just, yeah, worst I've had out of everything. Yeah, but
Ah,
it's a throb that just, mate. They put us on morphine. I think they give us 30 mils or something of morphine. They said, "Fuck, you should be," like I was off my freaking head, but I was still screaming from the pain in my hand. It
wow.
wouldn't go past my bloody wrist.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. But it went through like, I know you see that white mark
Yeah, in the
just
middle there. Yeah, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so two barbs went in there, and then the other barb went in here and came out there. So that one
Far
went
out.
through there, hit a nerve, and them two there went up into there, up in there. One went there, one went there. So they covered me whole freaking hand.
That's
But yeah.
crazy.
Anyway,
So what
yeah,
was the
stupid.
thing you
But
never
I
do?
knew what not to do. Yeah, don't ever do that again.
No, what was it though? What'd you do?
Oh, I bloody grabbed it by the tail. So they've got the tail and they've got their barbs, and you grab the tail, and so I'm holding these barbs down.
Yeah.
So I grab the tail and hold the barbs down. So his barbs are like, say, I don't know how would you put it. Say that's its tail and the barb's like sticking up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've grabbed it and held the barb against its tail.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, don't do that, because if you do it, they're fast. They'll just pull it out and then throw it back at you. And I did that. And as soon as I grabbed like that, it pulled it out. And as soon as it pulled out, I went, oh shit. Went like that. And I just went that quick,
Oh,
just nailed me. I was like, oh. So as I done this, stabbed it in the head, cut its head, cut a hole in its flipper, picked it up, chopped its tail off, said, come on, quick, we got to go. And then I had three of them. Like she had two more. And yeah, it's like, quick, we better go. And I just walked up and down the beach. She's a nurse. I was like, come on, we'll just go home and I'll sleep this off. And yeah, within about 2 minutes, she goes, oh, then I'll just take him to hospital.
yeah.
Get to hospital, mate. I was laying there. Oh. And the ladies, the nurses were not real nice. They were like, so now you know what childbirth feels like. That's what a stingray feels like. I was like, you got to be joking. So they
It really
made me
hurt your
suffer.
hands that much?
They did nothing for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
and made
wow.
me sit there for an hour and a half and gave me warm water. Warm
Yeah.
water is like if you want pain, Stingray is bad enough, but you put it in warm water, 10 times worse. So it's got to be, there's a tip for you is if you get hit by a stingray, water's got to be so freaking hot that you can only just touch it.
Yeah.
You've got to keep it hot like that, man, 'cause you'll hit that heat, bang, and the pain goes away. So, sweet, you can breathe. Yep, cool, cool. When you feel it come back, you feel it come back. As soon as you're like, oh, it's getting bad, and do like that. And you keep doing that. But if you can put your hand in it, brace yourself because you're about to go to hell.
Yeah,
It's just
wow.
the pain, man. And it's the pain of morphine. So you can't see anymore, but I had all here. I think I put photos of it. I had all holes all through here from sitting there and the doctors are hitting me with local.
No way.
So yeah, local anesthetic is useless without the adrenaline. Otherwise, it just only lasts a couple of minutes, and then you're
Mm,
back in agony. So yeah, I had all here, man. It was like a rash, but it was all needle holes,
no
and I
way.
was like, jabbing because it hit a nerve there, and it's just that finger there. That finger's fine now, but that finger there was buggered. It was like that.
That's
Fine
crazy.
now,
I
but
saw
man.
I saw a video the other day of a dude that had caught one on a lure and he's picking it up, and as he picks it up, it flicks its tail up and smashes through its own body and almost gets his hand, like it's so close how it comes in. But like what is the concept? So you shoot a stingray, they're obviously not going to die in your first
Yep.
shot with a bow. So how do you actually just
Um,
how do you do the job properly without getting smashed by the tail?
yeah, they're not too bad. You can kill them if you can get them between the eyes. We've shot a fair few, killed them on the spot. Those little
Okay.
ones aren't too bad. The big ones are harder.
Yep.
Generally, if you shoot one of those big ones, you don't really want to shoot it in the head in case you don't kill it.
Mm,
So you want to shoot down towards where its tail comes out. I find shooting next to there is pretty good.
yep.
So you shoot next to that. That holds pretty good, but you're pulling from where the tail is.
Mm,
So it's not too bad, I find, because it'll hang in your tail about there and you'll watch it. But yeah, if you're going to get it, shoot it to eat it. You shoot it there and you'll pick it up and you have a knife, a bloody good knife on you. And as soon as you pick it up, just chop that tail off. But when you chop that tail off, you make sure you know where that thing is.
definitely.
Because if you
Yep.
step on that thing, man, fuck. But as soon as you chop that off, you're safe. So chop that off, stab him in the head, and you're good to go. But you
So
chop that thing off before you do it. Do not stab it in the head while it's alive. It'll mess you up.
yeah, so that's
It
what I was about
will
to say
get you
because they
like,
they flick their tails, right? Like it's crazy what it can do. So
mm,
even with the knife, like so you pick it up and it's not already going crazy with the tail.
yeah, shit, yeah, it is. Yep, yep. So
So
when you pick it up real gentle, like real, like you're not touching the scenery, hold your arrow, and just real gentle because he'll go nuts for ages. And it's like their cowtails have had them chase us, and they've come along without even being shot. I don't know why they've done it, but they'll come along and the tail comes up out of the water like that, and the tail rolls down like this, and the spike sits up like that.
Jesus
And I've had
Christ,
them do that to us and come up to us. Yeah, not even shooting them. I was just fishing. They come up and go, pop, pop. I was like, fuck this.
fire
So yeah,
out.
just got to be real careful. Like they are proper freaking dangerous, real dangerous. We had one in WA. We were going to Penguin Island, and you can legally you can take a gun over there, but you've got to keep your feet in the water. You're not allowed on the island. So we'd walk this at rangers told us. So we'd walk out there, walk around the island with their feet in the water, and
Mm,
then dive out the back. And on our way over there, we had this real big black stingray, freaking monster. And this thing come up out of nowhere. We're watching it, thinking, "Far out, what's this doing coming?" And we had spear guns. This thing's coming towards us. And I'm saying, brother, watch out. This thing will be over a meter. This big black thing. It come up, shallow water about, I don't know, a foot. This thing would have been close to a foot thick. It's a freaking monster.
the thick,
And it
yeah.
come up, man. And same thing, lifted that tail up and that spike. I reckon that spike must have been about that long. Just a monster. And it come up and done that and then just chased us, man. Knocked us over like because it had to run into us to get its tail. And we're stabbing this thing with a spear gun, and the flopper goes through, and it's like, we get to
You
pull the trigger,
stuck
let
to it.
line out, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's the worst thing ever. It's just like, yeah, have the spear, take that.
Man, the very
Oh man,
first time I went spearfishing, like this is before I ever did a course or anything like that. This is many, many years ago. We were down in Lawn and same sort of concept, massive stingray. And like, yeah, I reckon a foot and a half. Like this thing was huge in the body and it would follow us everywhere we went. And then it would just wait for you to try shoot something and cut straight up for you. And like, oh,
mm,
it knew. Yeah. And so that got me out of the water real quick. I was like, eh, you know
yeah,
what? Not today.
yeah, because they got no problem stabbing you. Like, so I don't think people realize how dangerous they are. Like, they are freaking dangerous.
Yeah.
Like a stingray, it don't take much from a stab you, and that thing is so freaking sharp. Have you got any? Have you got any
No,
barbs
but
with
I
them?
saw the video you put up the other day of stabbing it in the tree and how easy it was. Like,
That was
yeah,
easy, eh? It's like
yeah,
glass.
yeah,
I'll send one down to you if you want. I'll send a couple down to you.
yeah.
Oh, mate,
Okay.
they're just evil looking freaking things. Evil. And dude, it'll just go into you, sink like glass,
Yeah.
just like a real sharp piece of glass. It literally just goes in and out. People
Far
say
out.
they shoot about that. Nah, man, I don't know how the guys are breaking them off because people get them, they break them off.
Yeah.
But man, they just shoot in and out so quick. Oh, but hey, how's this? When we were kids, my nana got hit by one at salmon camp at Peaceful Bay in WA.
Yeah.
And we remember it as kids, I remember the hole looked like it was about that big.
Yeah.
It hit her, she stood on the thing in the salmon net, and it just went straight through her foot, straight into its own back. Boom, nailed
Oh,
itself. Like it's like it killed itself, stabbed itself in the head, in the back of the head. So
yeah.
straight through, boom, boom. And they pulled this thing out. It just went, Pwah! And she had a hole where, as kids, and this is how tough she was, man. I want nothing like me, bloody nana, I tell you. As kids, would put our fingers through the hole. Wouldn't even touch size. A big hole. It's probably about that. You know what I mean? Anyway, no shit. She was back at summer camp working the next day, mate, with a hole. Like seriously,
Jesus
no
Christ.
shit.
Yeah.
Tough. But anyway, yeah. So that thing had that thing dead because obviously it speared itself. They killed it anyway, but it speared itself, so it was buggered. But this thing would have been maybe about that big. So what's that? Close to a meter.
Yeah.
There was another one. There was another one in there, something like 2 meters over. It went like half a meter over each side of like a set of Toyota tracks.
No way.
And they were
That's
like,
crazy.
imagine that speared you. Oh,
Yeah, I was out spearfishing the other day and looked back behind me and huge ass manta ray just behind me. Like it was probably 20 meters off me, but just so cool to see something that big and just so elegant in the
that's
water. They're just cruising. Like it didn't care for me. It's just hanging out, seeing what was there and then took off. But yeah, it's just so cool to have that experience in the water in their zone. Like, yeah, it's just
bloody oath.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a pretty good respect for stingrays when I'm spearfishing. Like I've spearfished most places around, well, not everywhere around the world, but a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
And stingrays, I just don't mess with stingray, man. I've
No.
stabbed them things when they're about to go, and your spear gun won't stop them
Mm-hmm.
unless you can kill it. But as soon as you shoot it, and that spear stone, you don't care. He just keeps coming.
Yeah.
They just they're into something else. Like sharks are easy. I've dealt with heaps of sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks not too bad. As long as you hit them in the gills, they'll drown.
Mm.
But you try and kill a stingray, good luck. Those,
Yeah, far out.
oh.
Well, I mean, the
So
other
yeah.
thing that gets most people skin crawling is the crocodiles, and you have dealt with crocodiles a
Ah,
fair
yeah,
bit.
right.
What?
Yeah, crocodiles are right. They're not too bad.
What? Why do you say that? Like, obviously they're man killers to a degree.
Yeah,
So, what are some of the obviously the safety rules is keep away from them, but outside of
yeah,
like you deal with them actually, you catch them and you have to,
yeah.
yeah, you do that for work every once in a while. So, what does that look like?
That's probably my most full-time job is catching them. Crocs are good, man. Crocs are. Oh, you can't say they're like. Um, how would you say they're predictable, but not too predictable. But they're a lot more predictable than any of these other animals we've spoken about today. Like I
Mm,
know those camels now will go for us to look like a dog, but I know a crocodile is going to come and try and eat me because I catch the big fellas like the males. I tend to try and stick over the 4.5 meter.
yeah,
They all want to eat us. So you look like prey or do something stupid, they're coming.
yeah,
So we catch out of like a 3.6 meter tinny. I got a few other boats as well, but this is my favorite. But I'm catching the big boys. I'm jamming this little tinny. It's about
to me that's
3.6 meters.
smaller than an actual crocodile.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to intimidate them. You want to let them know, you've got a chance. If you can't play the game, you've got a chance. But they come to us, and we'll pull up in the water at night. So a lot of it's at night, and we'll sit there and your harpoon or whatever. We can use my bow, but there we sit there and you'll sleep there in the boat, and the big fellow will come up, and he'll bump the boat. So he'll come up and he'll go boom with his head. So you'll be sitting there and you hear boom. It's like oof. So you make sure you're ready. So you got we got handguns which are useless. We got rifles there as well, but their handguns are really just a bit of safety. They make a bit of noise and it just deters them really. Like you're doing
Hmm.
well to kill one with one, you may kill it, but it take 3 days for them to float. You know, we need to wait for 3 days for it to come back up.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to do it, but I don't. The idea of just shooting stuff, letting it float around, just it
Doesn't,
end up,
yeah, that's
even
it.
though I'm allowed to do it, it's just I see it as a waste. And what am I,
Hmm.
anyway, not in it. Anyway, so yeah, they'll bang around, they'll bump the boat, and then we catch them when they're trying to get in the boat. But you just hope like hell they bump the boat and whatnot and don't just climb in.
Yeah.
Um, we had one sink. We had a boat sunk last time I was out there, and he hit us about 12:30. And I had a fellow come out with us, so I take a few people out, and he's sitting there on the back driving the boat. He's got his elbow on the side of the boat, just driving this hand, just sitting there on the tinny. And oh, don't put your elbow over the side, just like, don't do it. Anyway, they know you're doing it. They're proper freaking smart. Anyway, this croc came up and grabbed that back corner of the boat, mate, and just crushed it. And there's 3 teeth, ding, ding, ding. This was 5 meter croc, 3 teeth up the side of that tinny. Just opened it up, opened the back up, and I seen the teeth going, oh shit, we're about 17 miles from the ramp, from a ramp, somewhere we get the boat out on the station. Like, shit, we got to go. Like, this is bad. And he's down there trying to start it. They know what's going on. So we had 7, because there was a group there of 14 we were trying to get, and the 7 popped up around us. I was like, oh, dude, okay, they know we're going down. Like, either start shooting now or get this bloody boat started, like get this motor started. Because he was panicking and couldn't get this motor started, so just come up here. By the time I got down the back and I'm trying to get the motor started, we had about that much.
Oh.
So now everything's underwater. So all our bullets, we put nail polish around the primers and around the projectiles in case we're going in the water. You want to be able to shoot if you can. So you can still shoot your bullets if you can keep your powder dry. So you can still shoot your pistols on. They don't like the noise, so it helps. And we swim. We try not to swim, but you get shivers. anyway, so get down the back. We had about 100 mil freeboard, so everything's underwater. Everything that floats, floating. You remember about that much on the edge, and you got this thing started, and it's like, come on, okay, you got to slowly go. He's like, go, but he's laying on the front now. We're trying to level this boat out.
Yeah,
we both went the back. Boom, we're on the bottom.
Yeah.
We're buggered. So we're still sitting in this boat. We had 7 around us, and the big fellow was coming towards the motor, and slowly got this motor going. Figuring what the hell's going on. Didn't realise there was a hole in the bottom corner. So we had to shoot another hole. Didn't have to, but it's made it easier for the water to get out.
Yeah.
And then and as we're going, undone the bung. And I tell you, if we had a small bung, we would not have beaten it. Needed more bullet holes in the back end to get us out. But it took us a couple of Ks and we got it going, and then we just had to keep moving. We managed to get back to the ramp and just drove the thing straight to the bank, got up and got the motor off. The boat was buggered. Well, not buggered, we fixed it. Went and grabbed another tinny and found that big fella that chewed the boat, because I bloody harpooned him and left the float in him. As he's taken off, I bloody harpooned him as well. You have that. And we come back at 9 o'clock. We found the float that I had on the line that had him. And it wasn't till 1 o'clock till I got him.
What do you mean? What was the difference between 9 and 1? If you found the float.
9 o'clock's when I found him. He had a float and a rope on him. It took me till 1 o'clock to get him.
To actually pull him into the boat, are you saying? Or
yeah. So I got I've harpooned him and he'll just lay on the bottom there. He'll just chill. So pull on your harpoon or whatever and just upset him. So he comes up, and you want him to run out of air because he's going to come up and breathe. And then once you can get him to come up, we'll throw like a big treble with a weight on it. Throw that over and hook that into him, and you'll hook that into the skin somewhere. Real fine hook, and that's just to hold him. And then you can upset him till he wants to come to you or attack you or whatever, just to get him up. So we had to do that. It took till about 1 o'clock to get him, and end up going to a bank. Once you got the big one on, you'll go to a bank and I'll tie it to a tree and then just work him like with like trucky hitches, just with a rope, and work him right up. It's the same. It's very similar to catch that fella wasn't, but it's very similar to catching a trout. So when you're trout fishing in, say, Tassie, you'll hook the trout and you let the trout wear itself out. So the trout does that fishing and jumping, all that. Same as croc will do the biting and snapping and rolling and going crazy, and then he'll stop. Then you work him, and you can feel crocs are wicked. You can feel it through the line, especially like your bow fishing when you're whacking with a bow. That's another thing. When you get that harpoon up, usually a harpoon, I'll use my bow for that, to do that bit. But you can feel everything he's going to do through that line. You can sort of feel what's coming. So you know, oh shit, this doesn't feel good, but you can feel it. And so you sort of know what's going on. So then you go to shore and go, wait up, he's going to load up again. Bang, you'll let the pressure off that tree and boom, let him go. He'll do that for 10 seconds, whatever. Come on, let's go. Quick, come up. And you'll get him right up to you. And then, I know you're going to go. You've got to be pretty close. Then you'll feel it. Oh, yep. Ready. Bang, let it go. And he'll go crazy. All right, come on, quick. Pull him up again. And usually I'll get, say, someone driving and I'll just pull him up, tie him up. And then once, say, if we stay in the water, that one we couldn't because he just wanted to eat the boat. A lot of the time you'll pull them up to the boat in that little tinny. And they'll come up to the boat and you'll pull them up. And once you got that top snout rope on, you're pretty good because you rope them. got that snout rope up and you'll pull him up and he'll come up to the boat. He'll come up like that there and look at you like he's going to bite, but he's got his mouth shut.
Yeah.
So the cool thing with the crocodile, he's got his mouth open, he's saying, piss off or I'll bite you. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know. Yep. Cool as. That's when you rope him. Cool. Bang. He's got his mouth shut. Now he's going to have a go at you. So when you see the crocs in the croc parks and they got their mouth open, you'll see they'll walk around them.
Yeah.
They're not too bad. When they got mouth shut, he's coming. Like he's getting ready, he'll come after you. But he won't come after you like that. He'll come after you like that.
With the shut
They
mouth.
might
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
oh, I like this stuff. Yeah. So I can't boat with their mouth shut. Once you've roped them, you'll get them tied. And then you'll pull them and they'll go, like they're going to come in the boat. So they'll come up to get you. And then as soon as they come up, you just pull their head down.
So they're
So, yeah, bang.
they're
So
coming out of the water like a big old kick up in the air sort of thing.
yeah, and you got to be on to it. Yeah, because it comes up, and you make sure the other person outside the tinny. So as soon as it comes up like that, this is the side of the boat, the other
Yeah.
side of the boat. So he'll come up, boom, and he'll come up to you because you're like, come on, boom, and as he comes up to try and get you, go, boom, pull his head down. So you got there's the edge of your boat, bang, you pull his head down,
Yeah.
and you push that nose down. So you're pushing this nose down now, and like tie his mouth shut, quick. So then you're like, got your knee on there, tie the mouth up. Yeah, you tie that up and just see how much energy he's got. And then, yeah, if he hasn't gone, you'll try and get his eyes closed. And as soon as if you can get them two done at the same time, you're laughing. And then you'll just have his head over the edge. So you got your tiller steer or whatever, you'll motor at the back.
Yeah.
You'll have him over there, and his snout rope will go through like a D loop. You'll double it and hold on.
Yeah.
And he'll hang on there, and then he'll cruise back. And then
No
just
way.
take it easy. And then every time when he goes nuts, because you got his nose down, he's like that. You can't do too much.
Yeah.
And what he'll do is you'll just get that tail going. You'll just feel the boats just go, oh, shit.
Like side to
And yeah,
side.
just clicks that.
Wow.
Yeah, they push when he goes, like they doesn't feel like the motor's doing nothing. You think, oh, we've stopped. It's just going. So yeah, we just bring them back, tie them up, and we do them from selling them as pets to people's backyard. So hopefully that's come back for us because they cancelled that for a bit.
But not like the 5 meter boys.
Yeah, oh, that's what people want. Yeah, stuff. Yeah,
Really? Like in
Everyone.
Australia or all over the world?
Yeah, no, in Australia, everyone wants a 5 meter crocodile in the backyard. It's Darwin. Yeah, I know it's different, but anyway, it worked.
What
So,
someone
yeah,
pay for something like that?
Oh, it depends on the size, eh? And yeah, 5 meter croc's up there, eh? It's pretty
Fucking
good.
hell. I feel like you're pulling
Yeah.
my leg.
No,
It
you have
sounds
to,
like a joke. Like
you'll have to come and visit, and I'll show you. But
yeah.
I don't advertise that stuff online. I just
No,
work and
it's just work. Yeah,
but,
so what else? Like, is there so pets? But what else? You said that might be coming back. So
yeah,
what else have you used them for in like up until now?
cool. Yeah, so I do some stuff with a mate from Triple C as well, and we put all the fat goes in a soap.
Yeah,
So they make soap with the fat out of it. Also, I sell the skulls and I sell the skins, and then you got the femurs, like the main bone in the back leg, not front leg. So in
Yeah.
the back legs, you got the femurs, and we give them to knife makers. The knife makers make all knife handles and stuff like that out of it.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then the odd people want different parts, body parts and whatnot. Some people like the penises, all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, don't
That's
go into that.
bizarre. And so what you essentially
Yeah, we
you
bag
essentially
them up.
you take them back and do the whole processing of the crocodile and everything yourself, or is that someone
Yeah.
else does that?
Yep. No, I do the whole lot. Yep. I'll get other people to do
Wow.
it as well, but I do the whole lot myself as well. Yeah. So if I'm out on in the field and I'm doing whatever it is, I'll do
Yep.
the whole lot while I'm out there. So I'll go from boning them out to splitting all your different muscles and whatnot
Yep.
to skinning and cooking and all the rest. Yeah.
And do you sell the meat for consumption or anything like that, or that's not really a big trade?
We do it for pet food and some for consumption, but yeah, mainly pet food, eh?
Yeah, wow.
But if you want to get some, it's really good. Crocodile's good eating. You only generally stick to eating the tail.
Yeah, okay.
The rest you really put the dog food, but the tails on a crocodile is really good. There's no flavour.
Mm-hmm.
If you have crocodile that tastes like fish, I'd be questioning what you're eating.
Yeah.
But you eat crocodile tail, absolutely beautiful. There's a round fillet in there. It's like, I'd just say it's a 4 meter croc. Fillet's probably about that big.
Yep.
Oh, probably about that actually. And it'll be about that long. And it'll be like those Calippo Aussie bowls that's round and then goes sort of small at the other end.
Yep.
And that there you'll cut that like fillets, like little steaks like that, little like pork medallions.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just same as a pork medallion. Just
Yeah,
tastes
wow.
like a pork medallion. Just put a bit of salt and pepper on it and you taste like pork.
And the skulls people are just buying as like a decoration type thing. Like I've seen the one with the lights and stuff on your page. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Roger's sister done that. I reckon that looked cool. But no, we sell the heads. I sold just sold a 5.5 meter head. Just went last week.
Yep.
Just sold another. That's from your biggest. And just sold a little 40 centimeter yesterday. And I know there's 5, 6 others going, but just yeah, no, we sell a fair few. I think we sold November. I think we sold 40 something. So it
Wow.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
Yeah, it's
didn't
different.
didn't even realize there was such a market for it. I actually do remember
Me
seeing
neither.
one of your videos now. I do
Oh,
remember
right.
seeing one of your videos now about you guys doing the butchering. You and your mate
Oh, yeah.
doing the yeah.
Yeah, that's is
I
that
think
4 meter crop?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that went for a full mount. As far as I know, I'll just say what it sold for. So that sold for about 40 US.
Wow. That's crazy. And
Yeah,
you
that
sent it
one.
to the US or
Yeah, we didn't do all the courier and sending and lots of things. We just done the skinning and catching and skinning.
yeah, that's
So
crazy.
that taxidermy still there's about 20 odd grand worth of taxidermy in that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
Oh, wow.
that thing's fully mounted, that is.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. And so who taxidermied that for you?
We didn't do it. We sent it off to I can't remember the fella's name. There's only a couple of guys that do a real good job of them here.
Yep.
Not real mainstream guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Man,
Yeah,
that's
they don't do too
crazy.
many of them.
So I mean, would you say that's your closest encounter or your worst close encounter, or has there been yeah,
Had
like
heaps.
what's a big near miss that's been where you go, oh fuck, I need to reevaluate this? Any?
Oh, nah, probably that one with I had a 4.2 meter croc come up and grab the front of the boat, and the guy had driving sort of went into. You see when guys get flight or fright,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
sort of freeze.
Freeze. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I've seen heaps of it, but never really know. You don't know the extent of what people can do until you see it, but they don't realize they're doing it either.
Hmm.
It's almost like they're unconscious, but they're still
They're
looking like
there,
they're an
but it's
awake
just
person.
glassy. Yeah.
So this guy wasn't there, but I thought he was there. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It was, yeah. So this thing grabbed hold of the front of the boat. This thing, fuck, this was the closest, but not me, for him. The
Mm.
same fella that had it nearly bite the back of the boat. And I think
The croc
it's
magnet.
almost like, yeah, yeah. He's told me 3 times now. It's the most scared he's ever been in his life. Yeah, yeah. Crocs love him. I think that's why he gets so many while he's in the boat. But yeah, it's like as soon as we grabbed the front of the boat, and this thing was bad. This thing just straight up attacked us. We did nothing, hadn't caught, just been out and just where we told this angry thing was, and we found it. It found us, I should say, and it had us up against the bank. It was smashed at the front of the boat from the banks. We got pushed up against the bank, which wasn't too bad, because they had a way to get to land, but you couldn't because as soon as you hit the mud, you go waist deep in mud. You're buggered. Anyway, so we're sort of stuck in this thing and it's going nuts. Anyway, and it's trying to come over the front. Anyway, I can't remember what I'd done. I think I belted it in the head or something. I came around and came up the other side, and I threw a hook and just like trebled it
Mm.
and got this thing tied up. What a harpoon! I think I harpooned it actually. I went, boom, that's right. That's right. I was hanging off front with the boat when it came and attacked and knocked us back. That's right. And come around, bang, shot it. Anyway, so I put the arrow in it, harpoon it, and this thing, fuck, this thing's nuts. So I had the rope on it. I said, this fella here, right, we're just going to shoot this thing because it's crazy, all right? So whatever you do, I've got knots on this rope. These knots do not come in the boat, ever. They never come in the boat. They stay outside the boat because I can measure how far you are. You say you're a first knot, the second knot. Don't care if you're the first, second, but they don't come in the boat.
Hmm.
Anyway, just fucking pulling it up, and I see on the ground. Said, "Is that the fucking knot? What's that? Is that the knot? Yeah, there's a fucking knot. The knot's on the ground, dude." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So no, let it go, let it go. Nope. Almost like I've got him. I've got this, and I do. We're not fishing. We're not fishing. You haven't got it. Let it go, let it go. And I'm shouting, "Fucking let it go, let it go!" And he wouldn't let it go. Wouldn't let it go. He just kept pulling. So now he literally. So he's over the edge of the boat. We're a tinny. Like this, the sides are like this here, from the water. Like
Yeah.
almost probably this far from the water. So was about 800 mil, say 700 to 800 mil from the water. No, I've got it, I've got it. I'm like, no, you fucking don't let go, just let go. He wouldn't let go. I was going, fuck, I put this boat down, it's going, oh shit. Anyway, as it's come up, so it's come up, and we didn't want that. We just want him just relax for a bit, let him wear himself out,
Hmm.
and then we'll deal with him. He'll go off, we'll let him fight. Yeah, and we only deal with him when he's chilled. Don't deal with him when he's full fire.
Yeah.
No, old mate's fighting. Old mate's fighting. He didn't want to let go at all. Fuck. So I'm standing there like this here, and I'm thinking, fuck, no, dude, you get it. I'm just shouting, let it go. And he wouldn't let it go. And anyway, it's come up like this and looked at me. So when they come up, they'll come up like that. That's the side of its head.
Yep.
So, okay, so that's under its chin, I guess its belly side and the
Mm-hmm.
back of its head. So they'll come up and they'll look at you. So it's come up like sideways and looking at me. I'm sitting here and it's right there, and I'm thinking, oh shit. So I sat back like that. And as it's turned like that, and old mate's right here. Now he's literally probably about 400 mil from this thing. Because when you freeze up and whatever, you just do crazy shit. Old mate doesn't know. He's just doing stuff. Like he's gone. So
Yeah.
he's got this thing about maybe half a meter from this thing's mouth sort of thing, maybe less. And he's like, I got it, I'm got it. Ah, it doesn't work. Yeah. Couldn't convince him. As it's turned like that, then it's looked at him. I'm thinking, oh shit, this thing's gonna grab him. That's what it's doing. This thing's up too, by the way. It's up. It's just got right up on its tail. I was going, oh shit. So I grabbed the 308 I had there. I just picked that up, the pump action, and just gone, shk. As I blowed it, it's just gone, turned around, looked at him, and just went, what? Opened its mouth, pulled him over the edge of the boat. It's pulled him over the edge of the boat, and as it's come like that, he's just pushed his feet down and slid back. And I was just going, and I hit it like straight through about the center. I blew the back of its spine out, and it's fallen, and he's got hands like that there, and it's fallen with its mouth around his hand. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're done, buddy. And just didn't know, just the panic from it all, just didn't know. Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
So so it comes to ropes and all that sort of thing. That was probably the closest. I don't ever want to do that again, but you don't need to do that. Like they're not
No.
that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the craziest, stupidest thing I've seen. I've seen heaps of others, but not being in any sort of control, more sit back watching.
Yeah.
And I've seen a female croc nail a few people, like seen that roll 4 5 people just smoke them. And that was
What,
all
like they were
female,
in
their
they
farm.
were in the water or something and just came in.
No, we're catching out of a croc farm, and this
Yeah.
thing just went ape shit. Yeah, just went around, just went boom, 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 just opened up a few people. Yeah,
Wow.
you'd never hear about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty cool. You see some cool shit, eh? But they're fine. They're fine. You just don't play when they're angry. You just leave them alone. You know what I mean? Let them get it off their back. You know what I mean? Then cool. All right, now start dealing with them, get them up, and you just never put yourself in a situation because they're like an explosive. They're going to go off every so often, and just don't be in that zone. You know what I mean?
But
And then
someone dealing with the
just
croc in
come
the
up.
wild, like you camping and you come across croc slides and stuff like that, like is it just
Mm.
best to move on, go to a new location and get away from
Yeah.
it or yeah.
Depends what you're doing. They'll find you.
Yeah, okay.
They'll come and find you. Like it's just don't camp anywhere near. Like I had a fella, I turned camera. I said, look, I'm going to tell you, we're going to camp on the edge of this river. We're about 100 meters from the river, but the crocs will come up to us. All right. You sleep in the back of in the canopy. It's a good mate of mine. He's on one of those Ninja Warrior guys, really good fella. Anyway, I said, I'll camp him a swag on the ground. I sort of, I'll be right, but just you'll go in there. Anyway, I hear this noise and it's clanging around in the back of me. What the hell's going on? He's awake and he's hanging out of this thing like a little monkey, throwing rocks. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I hear this. And it's just like this about a 4 meter croc just dragging itself up this bank up towards us.
No
Yeah,
way.
it's funny. As that was on a there was bitumen there, so it was on one of the main crossings in Darwin. And this thing just dragged itself up that bitumen up to us.
Yeah.
And I was laughing. I climbed out of his swag, come around back of the ute, and just leaned against it with him. And the croc's like, I don't know, about 3 or 4 meters away. I said, "Fuck, what's going on?" He said, "Fuck." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was watching, mate. It's all good." I said, "But yeah, crazy how they sneak up on you." And
Yeah.
then once it knew, like we're onto it, it just laid flat, bang, just laid flat. Obvious, it wouldn't just laying there.
Yeah.
And it took a bit to get it moving, but I said to him, look, this thing hasn't fired off, like it's got full steam.
Mm.
So if this wanted to run after us, catch us, it could. Generally, they won't because they want to take you back and drown you. So it's got
Yeah.
to, they do their maths, like I'm going to catch you, but if I catch you, can I get you back in that water? You know what I mean? It's almost, I think that's what they do. They do their maths on you
Yeah.
and wait up. It's not worth the risk. I can grab hold of it, but I can't get it back. So I want you a bit closer to that water, or you know what I mean? We stand a bit taller. Anyway, I don't know. But a 3.6 meter crocodile takes out a like decent bull buffalo.
Far out.
Yeah.
That's
So
hectic.
that's only a 3.6, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you take it out, no worries, yeah.
Dude,
That gives you an idea.
that's a bit of an eye opener, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, if you see a 3.6 meter head, I think I put a post up on my page with all your different size heads, like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80.
Hmm.
So that 80 to 4.9 on that list of all those heads, that 80 is only a 4.8, I think.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's only a 4.8. So you got a 4.8. The bottom one's only like a 2.5.
Yep.
And then you've got a 3 meter. So I think it's second or third from the bottom is a 3 meter. I think the third one's at about a 3.6. So that third one will take down a full buffalo,
That is
bull
crazy.
buffalo. That is tiny compared to the rest.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
biggest one you've seen in the wild? Biggest croc?
5.2 something, I caught it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I just sold that one the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a monster. That was absolutely huge, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I think the head was just the head. We cleaned it all up. The head was 70, roughly 70 kilo or something like that. Something
That's
like that.
insane. What got you into croc hunting? Like going out and capturing them? What was the thing that drew you to that?
Um, I don't know. I was just doing buffalo stuff, and then when I helped a mate out do something, and I was watching how they're doing it, thinking, "Far, out, you guys are going to die, you mad bastards!" And I'm just standing back watching because I stood back. I always like stand back and watch and learn from them. And just watching how they're doing it, they take too many unnecessary risks, like
Mm,
way too many. I was like, "Far out! I wonder if you can just do this." And then they let me start doing stuff. So, oh yeah, well, I'll just do this, and I just started wrapping them up myself, tying them up myself, doing the whole lot myself. So, oh yeah, he's ready, got these ones tied to the tree, and they're like, what? Who give you hands? No, no, just tie them to the tree. They're fine. No, you can't do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, they're tied to the tree. Go and have a look. But it's just let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Don't fight them. You'll never ever win a fight against a croc. Like just madness. So so like a meter croc would smash me. Like far out. I wouldn't fight a meter.
no.
No.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh
I've seen people
man.
jump in a wrestler and get opened up, but mad bastards.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, something that you do is a little bit of guiding up there as well. So, I mean, you said
Mm.
croc stuff is your main job, like that's the main thing you do. But that's kind of is that seasonal? How's that work? And then how's it work in with the rest of the hunting stuff that you do as well?
Yeah, yeah. So around that, I do like buffalo hunts, bantang hunts, scrub
Hmm.
ball hunts, pig hunts, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Generally, I throw pig hunts in with guys that come up and do buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just mix that in around the crocodiles, gives me a bit of break, gets me out of the water.
Yep.
And you can't, the croc thing takes a fair bit out of you. You're doing like maybe 20 to 22 hour days.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's big because you've got to catch and then you've got to skin and then whatever else you got to bone them out and you got to separate the fat. There's a lot to it.
Mm.
So the good thing about them is I can catch them and tie them up in the shade and keep them alive for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they're fine. They're like a big lizard.
Hmm.
As long as you look after them, don't put them in the sun and whatnot. But yeah, with a guide in, I just mix it through. It works out quite well.
Yeah. Far out. And
Mm.
do you have like if someone was interested in doing that, this is just best place to get in touch with you through your Instagram page?
Yeah, yeah, it gives just get them to shoot us a private message. I love speaking to everyone personally and taking them personally.
Yep.
Main reason speaking to them personally is I like to know who I'm taking out, and
100%.
also don't want to just take them out. Hey, I want to go shoot a buffalo. Well, I don't just do let's go shoot a buffalo. What is it you want to do? You
Hmm.
might say, hey, Pete, I want to go shoot a buffalo. But if I speak to you in person, say, I'd be awesome if I could get a pig and I know a wild dog, and I wouldn't want to get a goose or whatever it is, or but what you really want to do is shoot a goose flying with your bow or something.
Yeah.
Well, if you told me that, if I can find that out, I'll take you somewhere where you can go get geese with your bow. You're
Yeah.
flying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can take you somewhere where you're going to get this, I don't know, 100 kilo pig or
Yeah.
whatever size buffalo or whatever it is. That's why I like to talk to people, find out what they actually want.
Yeah.
And if they want multiple species, 5, 6 species, 7 species, no worries. Yeah, we do that quite a lot. I'm much further on that. Take them around and just learn all the different animals.
Yeah, okay. Those magpie geese, they're pretty incredible, right? They're pretty good eating,
Yeah,
aren't they?
beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. They're
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Have
haven't
you get
heard
on
much
those?
about them.
Oh, you haven't?
Not like I've heard they're good
Well,
eating. That's kind of it. Like not much about the
yeah.
hunting sides or anything like that. Like where do you find them? What do you do for them?
Yeah, okay, cool. So a lot of people hunt them, but they'll hunt them with their shotguns and they'll go shoot them on the swamps. It's a big deal, eh? Like the people come from all over the world. I just had some Americans or Canadians, sorry, just message me. There's 5 I want to fly in to shoot a magpie goose.
Wow.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Righto. Okay. Just a goose, not a buffalo or anything. No, no, no. This time we'll get a goose. Next time we'll get a buffalo. Mate. It's a long way to go for a goose. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They love their birds.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they can do it in NT. It's just got to be within the season. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
With a bow, I haven't seen anywhere you can't shoot them on the ground. I don't know. I'd have to check the rules. I just shoot them from the air because when I with our bow hunt each year, I shoot one of every species. And with one of every species, even though it's not on the ABA list, I like to do my birds as well. So that way I can say, okay, yeah, this is just for my own thing. I do one of every species. The bird I'll shoot aerial, so that way I cover all the bases. I've got all my animals. I've got my fish in water, and I got bird out of the air.
With a flu? Is that how you're
Yeah,
doing it?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yep, yep. Flu, and I use target tips, and I use target tips either cut off blunt
Mm.
or just straight target tip, and it drops the geese. I know it works really well.
Yeah, okay.
Weird. People think you'd have to cut holes in them.
Yeah.
I've used broadheads on them a bit, but I find target tips enough. You hit them good with the target tip, bang, drop them.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, wow.
knock them flat. Yep. So that works. You just hit them in the center of the chest, and yeah, you got yourself a goose.
Yeah, fire out, man. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
was out. I was out with an Aboriginal fella, and he wanted us to do it with him, and he had a bow as well, and I got 17 with him. We were only allowed 3 by tags, but I was out with the Aboriginal mob out on country,
Hmm.
and yeah, got 17 in about an hour, I reckon.
Wow.
Yeah,
Far out.
yeah.
Man, there was a lot more than I was expecting to get out of this podcast, to be honest. You're a man full of wild stories.
Just stupid stuff. Eh?
Oh, I love it. But so if anyone wants to reach out and talk to you directly, it's ihunt_down under. And you've got some yeah, it's literally all showcased on your page. All the croc stuff, all your recent ray fishing in particular, the bow hunting of the stingrays. I mean, there's plenty of buffalo, plenty of pigs, plenty of all different types of content across your page, which is really cool, man. So,
Mm.
yeah, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk about the camel, but then also to tell us the rest of the stories. I think it's really cool. It's very insightful, and you're a crazy bugger. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to say a big thank you before you go.
Yeah.
You got people like yourself, especially yourself. I've been watching what you've been doing for a fair while, and you guys don't get the credit that you should be getting. You guys are the guys that are keeping us together. You guys are the guys that are getting these new guys and helping them, pushing them, getting people like us to help talk and whatnot. So, mate, my hat's off to you, not to me. I just do stuff, you know what I mean? But
Mm.
you are the glue for the bow hunters. What you guys yourself, I haven't watched too many other people. I see the other podcasters like Rogan and all them.
Yeah.
But man, this shout out to you, dude. Like
No,
seriously.
yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I mean, it's a bit of a labor of love, but at the same time, like the community has been so amazing for me, and I've literally made my best mates. Like some of the dudes I talk to regularly, most times throughout the week, I'll call them, and yeah, it's cool to see all the different types of walks of life come together, and it's all brought together by the bow hunting. And I think we were saying it before we started recording. I've been taking a fair few newbies out over the last year, and it's just such a transformational thing. Like taking someone out and seeing what they can experience in the bush. And it's this thing that is innate to us and something that we do have within us, but it's just so lost and forgotten, like we talked about, as a skill. And so when you can take someone out and actually showcase that and really get them to see it, it's like, I don't know. I used to do that with health retreats. Now I can just do it, taking someone out for a bow hunt. Like when I used to run my nutrition company, we used to do like 10, 20, 30 people retreats and would take them out and do no not bow hunting, but we'd go out and would take them out for a weekend, and you see this big transformational process happen with them. And I've never seen anything work faster than what bow hunting does for a man in particular. Take him out for a bow hunt, one
100%.
day transforms.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
just you see the mental load drop, you see everything just kind of come into place for them, and they're like, oh, this is what it's all about. Like this is just the basics of life that are so important to people in general that we just forget about. And I think what this platform has been able to do for me is just I don't know the adventures that I've had, the memories I've been able to create, the friends that I've built from it is just it's unforgettable, man. It's absolutely incredible. And I think just what is so cool is that I've seen this community that is so passionate about what they do. It goes beyond a sport. It's a lifestyle. It's
Mm.
this thing that people
Yep.
stick to. And so it's just like that's the motivation for me to keep going. It's like there's such a drive just to push this way of life that we get to live. But the cool thing is that it's now starting to get motivation for other people to start their podcasts. I'll have probably three, four different dudes reach out to me a year saying, "How do I get started with my podcast? I want to do a bow hunting or I want to do a hunting podcast. How do I start it?" And I'm like, I give them everything. I'm like, dude, here, do this, try this before you start. Make sure you got these amount of episodes, do X, Y, and Z. Like, there's all these things that you should do to make sure that your podcast is successful. But one of the things I talk to them about is like, what are you doing it for as well? Like what you say about going for a bow hunt, like before someone comes for a hunt with you, like what are you actually doing it for? Because if you're doing it just for a bit of fame, like don't do it. It's not what's
Yeah.
going to get you across the line. You won't last more than 10
Okay.
episodes. Do it
Yeah.
because it's something that you want to share. It's a passion that you want to give to someone else. And I'm like, the more the merrier. The more content creators that we have out there for hunting in general,
100%.
that's
Agreed.
what's going to preserve what we have, I think,
Yeah.
because unfortunately, a lot of the posting and the sharing of the kill that is also doing a lot of damage to our community. Unfortunately, it's like the
Yeah.
hunters are also their own most worst enemies in a way,
Yeah.
and that's upsetting because it's also such a rewarding thing. Like you get a photo of an animal that you've just shot and you've worked your absolute ass off for. I get it. Like I'm from this side, I get it, but from the other side, they don't understand that. So that's what I'm trying to do is preserve it so my girls can keep doing it and I don't know, my grandkids and whatever else.
Another thing as well we don't do a lot of in Australia is we don't show the dressing out of the animals
Hmm.
at all. Like I'm guilty of it. Like I should be doing a lot more, but I turn the camera off when I go dress them out. Let's turn it off and go to work.
Yeah,
Whereas it should be. That's where I really should be filming. So I'm guilty of it, but I can see that's what I'm really doing wrong. I should be filming the cutting up, say, hey, look, I need to
this is
shoot
the
this thing
meat.
to chop
This
its
is the
bloody head
thing.
off.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm proud of the head, but I'm also proud of the moment, and not so much. It's not the killing it. It's what it took to get yourself to the point where you've made that perfect shot. That the
Hmm.
hard work is this bit. The
Yeah.
shot is the bit I practiced for. The other bit I can't practice for. That's just like holy. This is it. Always different, hey.
Mm.
But then you've got the meat, and you've got you know what I mean. You've got that's the reward. You've got that thing. You don't. That's where you don't forget. I feel real bad if I shoot something I don't eat it.
Oh,
If I don't eat
100%.
any part of it, I feel sick.
Yeah.
Just I don't know what it is, but I've just always grown up doing the meat side. I only really started doing the trophy stuff. You can go back through the page and see where I started shooting trophy stuff. Like, so okay, I've shot a big one,
Mm.
but didn't do it. Most of my time was just for food, hey. And even now, man, I think I might have. I don't know. I'm giving most of my trophy stuff away. To be honest with you, I just
Yeah. Wow.
it's not. There wasn't that much for us. It's good being able to see it still and remember it, but it wasn't really that. If that
Mm.
makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah. I'd definitely say
So
I'm more
yeah,
of a
bit different.
I still have I've got a lot of interest in trophy hunting, but I'm still more of a meat hunter.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the day, I'm doing it for
yeah,
me to fill the freezer to yeah feed my family, not only my family but also like my extended family. I got a lot of friends who ask me about all the stuff that I do, and I do try to show as much, even on like my regular social media page. I try to show a lot of this the not the butchering as such, but the utilization of the meat. Like I did
yeah.
some dried just recently, like the dried sausage and the amount of interest that that generates is crazy. Like I have people from all walks of life, people from America. Like I got a pretty big network
Yeah.
with the stuff that I do for my marketing, like my day to day job. And yeah, the amount of conversations that starts is just bizarre. I have people, or, to be honest, a whole heap of dudes in my DMs, just like, bro, tell me about your meat. It's yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Good man.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
thank.
we'll have to do something. You'll have to come up and visit us in Darwin. I'll take you out and put something on for you. Do a bit of a podcast out on the
Definitely,
flats.
man,
It'll be a
in
bit
the
of an eye opener
bush.
for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, NT's high on my list. I mean, really, what we've got here in Australia, what we've got available for us is just so incredible. It's we're very fortunate with our opportunities.
We don't have seasons.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
we- We've got a mad, untapped lifestyle. Just so many resources, and they're
Hmm.
feral animals,
Hmm.
which we're allowed to do. You know, we're allowed to eat them,
Like we
and they're
talked
the
about
best of the best. Like,
1 to 2 million camels. That's crazy.
oh mate,
Like,
you can't beat camel meat, eh?
yeah,
Camel's the
absolutely insane.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Pete, I really appreciate it, man. I wasn't sure what to expect from this podcast, and I've had a lot of fun. It's been great, and your insights are really cool, and your stories are fucking out of this world. It's insane. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cheers.
appreciate your time, bro.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.